Ya, la pregunta que quería hacer yo a Sifu Tommy es cómo lo está haciendo con la pandemia. Él está haciendo clases online, vía Zoom, tiene clases presenciales en el lugar donde está él, con pocas personas. ¿Cómo lo está haciendo?
He's asking how are you doing right now because of the COVID situation? Do you have to do Zoom classes? Do you still doing presential classes, or how does you're not teaching? Okay, you're still teaching.
Yep.
Okay, sí. Dice que sigue enseñando. But is Scotland is closed? Is how or is not that close? You still have
closed.
Places open?
That's closed.
Okay, yeah, sí. Y en Escocia está todo cerrado, pero él sigue enseñando.
O sea, independiente de la pandemia, sigue enseñando y eso es bueno porque acá, por ejemplo, cuéntale que acá en Chile prácticamente no se puede enseñar por la pandemia.
Sí, no, ya tampoco.
Es un buen ejemplo, digo.
Sí. He's saying that that's a great example because here also we are forced, everyone is forced to close, but many people stop training because of that, and you shouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Sí, que no hay que ver. So, what do you think, based on what we talked before about Jeet Kune Do being only simplicity, do you think it's going to be always the same, like just work on being very good on the basics, or because of maybe the change of culture and also some changes on the fighting ways of the person, do you think Jeet Kune Do is going to evolve a little bit on some techniques, or do you think it's going to stay always the same, just the same idea of being very good on the basics, or do you see the art of Jeet Kune Do having some kind of evolution, not as much of throwing everything in, but having a different perspective? Do you think it's going to change, or do you think it's going to stay the same?
I really think that Jeet Kune Do will stay the same. The only thing that will evolve is different modern ways to train your body and different type of supplements that you can take to help your body develop and recover. So I think that it's just the same as boxing. Boxing is the same 8 punches. The only difference is some of the modern training methods and the supplementation to train their bodies has progressed. But the art of boxing is just still the same 8 punches.
Yeah. Dice que, o sea, le pregunté si él veía o pensaba que Jeet Kune Do iba a evolucionar eventualmente más allá, o que se iba a seguir trabajando en la misma idea por siempre en ser efectivo en lo básico y eficiente. Y me dice que él cree que Jeet Kune Do va a mantenerse igual, que debería mantenerse igual, que lo que cambia con la modernidad son las facilidades para entrenar, la capacidad de las personas. También habla de la alimentación, los suplementos alimenticios, y da como ejemplo el boxeo, que tiene una cantidad determinada de golpes y se ha mantenido con esa cantidad determinada de golpes por mucho tiempo, pero que los boxeadores han ido mejorando y avanzando en sus capacidades, depurando sus capacidades debido al entrenamiento moderno, a las capacidades, a los equipos de entrenamiento y también a la alimentación y los suplementos, pero que el arte se mantiene el mismo.
Claro, y ahí podríamos resaltar el concepto de Bruce Lee que decía que todos tenemos 2 brazos, 2 piernas. Lo importante es cómo entrenamos para sacar esas cualidades.
Sí. Dale nomás.
No, y lo otro, Juan, también para que le digas eso y también que le preguntes que de ahí va de la mano que lo que él dice, porque nosotros también, lo que hace Jeet Kune Do, que dicen que Jeet Kune Do es una arte marcial científico, que desde el punto más básico tenemos que encontrar la respuesta independiente de la época.
He said Bruce Lee used to say we all have two legs and 2 arms, but the important is how good you train them. And in that same idea, he said that in Jeet Kune Do you have to be some way scientific to be able to have the answer of any problem based on the basics. Like you even if the problem changes with the same basics, you can adapt to those same different problems or different situations.
Uh-huh.
So
what's the question?
Yeah, he wants to know, like, I would say, if I have to put it in a question, do you think that the basics will always, if you're good enough, you will always find the answer of the different situations in the basics?
The basics have the answer for everything. They've got the answer for everything, the basic techniques. You don't need complicated techniques. See, this and this works really good on the front. When somebody's to the side, the back fist works better. See that? Do you understand? Right in the front, this and this works straight. If the opponent comes to the side, then you can't turn and go like that when you're here. So that works better. The side kick works good for the front, but works good for the side. So they're just basic techniques. The eye jab, the straight punch, the back fist, the straight kick, and the side kick. There you go, that's it.
Sí, dice que lo básico va a ser siempre, vas a tener las respuestas para todas las cosas, y ahí apoyado por lo que estaba mostrando.
Okay. You just need basic techniques. That's
solo necesitas.
You don't need anything else.
Dice que solo necesitas lo básico, que no se necesita nada.
Ahora lo que él está diciendo tiene mucho sentido. Ahora que Bruce Lee también decía que se cerraran a pensar que la técnica era como en una Biblia para los que entrenan artes marciales, sino que era un movimiento. Entonces, decir movimiento te saca de la parte de aprender técnica por técnica, que se vuelve natural después del entrenamiento. ¿Hace punto que llegar a él?
He's asking that, do you think eventually technique becomes just movement, so you're not that trapped maybe on the technique idea, but you just can use the technique, but as a movement that already is incorporated to yourself, so that it makes it easier to have few techniques, but very incorporated to what you do, like as a movement more than as a technique? I don't know if I'm being clear on my question.
Well, Jeet Kune Do is really beyond technique. It's beyond technique. It's not just about technique. It's a way beyond technique.
Yeah, I think that's what he's asking. So you take the technique, but you go beyond that.
What you do is you draw a straight line between you and the target, and you move across this line as direct as possible with the least amount of movement. So you forget about technique. The point A, the point B, a straight line.
Yeah. Dice que el Jeet Kune Do está más allá de la técnica, que es movimiento, que básicamente entre tú y tu objetivo pones una línea recta y tratas de ir lo más directo dentro de esa línea y llegar al objetivo que tú te pusiste, que no son técnicas, una técnica tras otra, sino que es solo ver la manera en que tú llegas de un punto al otro lo más rápido posible.
Claro, él decía como llegar del punto A al punto B, como movimiento natural.
Sí, lo más rápido posible dentro de esa línea recta. Claro, o sea, si hay algo en la línea recta, te mueves un poco, pero ser lo más eficiente en ese movimiento entre un objetivo y el otro.
Look, from there and back. When you're here, look, there and back. With the leg and back. With the kick and back. You go kick, eye jab, back. Eye jab, kick, back. High jab. The person's on this side, back fist, side kick. Person's on that side, back fist, side kick. Person's on that side, back fist, side kick. Person's on that side, back fist, side kick. Here. From outside, it's like sword fencing.
Yeah.
Inside, boxing. See? Close in,
Yes.
shovel, uppercut, hook. See? Long distance. Here. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Thank you. Thank you for that. Dice, ahí mostró un poco cómo te mueves de manera frontal o bien por los lados. Y vuelve a explicar el tema de que de lejos es esgrima y de cerca es boxeo. When I just saw you moving, there's something very interesting about your footwork but also your structure. It's like your whole structure moves in one time. It's very interesting, and that makes me realize what you're talking maybe about fencing. Like you go in, but it's like everything is going in, moved by the feet, but I don't know if I'm right on what I'm saying, but it's like you just move. The whole structure is going forward. Very, very interesting. You don't lose time. It's like in one movement you're there.
Yeah, when you go, let me show you. So when you move from here, you move like that, right? If the opponent is standing this way up, right, that side, he's like that, and you're here. You move from here, there, and that way. See, on the outside of his arm. Here. So this is the boxing theory that Bruce adopted. When the opponent is standing that way, and you're here, you move in a strike and move to the outside of the arm like this for here. See that hit? See?
Yeah. Yes.
See, this is not a Wing Chun concept. This is a fencing concept and a boxing concept. So from outside, you can see how it's very much like sword fence. We strike, you move to here, and then inside, hit, boom, to here. At longer distance, see, you lose the leg, and then the hand.
Yeah.
And then, see, so use the leg. You can fake with the leg, draw the reaction, eye jab, hit, bang, knockout.
Yeah.
If the opponent is standing this way, the left side forward like that, you move to that side. Here, see, kick. Understand?
Yeah. Yes, very nice, very nice.
So there's no Wing Chun. No Wing Chun.
Yeah.
This is too slow. This is too slow.
Yeah.
When you move like this for here, you can see how this is faster. When you move, you disengage, you hit. See, you fake, hit, go for here. You kick, hit, and you move. See, more like a sword fencer. Once you come back, see, kick, and hit. Understand?
Yes, that's great. I really appreciate it. You have like very beautiful movements, and you can really see Bruce Lee when you move. It's very nice. I appreciate that.
Pleasure.
Please let me translate a little bit.
Okay.
Dice, ahí mostró los conceptos de estar frente y luego moverse hacia el costado, fintar un ataque frontal y luego entrar por el lado. Y una vez que entras, golpeas. Y vuelve a explicar, es esgrima, cuando estás en distancia larga, haces la finta, y luego entras por los lados como boxeo. Y eso es un concepto del boxeo, que no hay Wing Chun ahí, que el Wing Chun te quita mucho tiempo intermedio. Cuando mostró cómo hizo como las manos del Wing Chun, te quita mucho tiempo. No es necesario. Tus fintas o ocupas en la línea central con los conceptos de la esgrima, y una vez que esa línea está bloqueada, te mueves hacia el lado y entras por el lado como un boxeador. eso es lo que estaba mostrando. Y
Dile,
personalmente yo le dije que estaba, me gustó mucho cómo se movía, que uno puede ver a Bruce Lee ahí. Hay algo ahí muy interesante.
dile que tiene una mecánica corporal como
Sí, muy
natural.
buena.
Oye, Juan, con respecto a lo mismo que él estaba diciendo, repetía mucho que él ha repetido mucho de que no es Wing Chun. Y que Bruce Lee, de hecho, sacó parte del Wing Chun de lo que en este caso había aprendido en su momento con Jeet. Puedes preguntarle qué es lo que hay de Wing Chun en el Jeet Kune Do que él hace.
Okay. So you have told us many times that there's no Wing Chun on Jeet Kune Do. You would say there absolutely non Wing Chun on Jeet Kune Do, or still a little bit, at least on your understanding. Is there a little bit of Wing Chun or some Wing Chun concept on it, or it's totally out of it?
Only early on. Later on, Bruce threw Wing Chun away. That's how he moved to the outside of the arm. Wing Chun would move to the inside of the arm. See that? When a person like that, Wing Chun person moves to the inside of both arms. So later on, Bruce adopted the boxing theory. We're moving to the outside of the arm, where it's safer. So the Wing Chun was too slow and held him back. Once he threw the Wing Chun away, he was faster at moving. That's how we use broken rhythm. When you use broken rhythm, you offset the opponent's hand. You don't have to clash hands and trap, because you set the person's hands high and you hit low, or you set low and hit high, and then you move for here. So once he started to adopt this, there was no need to do that. So he threw that away.
Sí, dice que Bruce Lee sacó el Wing Chun del Jeet Kune Do, que no hay, porque en un principio tenía, pero luego se dio cuenta que era más efectivo usar él le dice broken rhythm, el ritmo quebrado, y por ejemplo fintar abajo y entrar por arriba, pero usar los conceptos que él ya mostró, desde fuera más o menos como esgrima, y las fintas para poder limpiar el cambio y entrar, pero toda la parte de trapping del Jeet Kune Do lo hacía muy lento. Entonces Bruce Lee lo sacó, y una vez que lo sacó se volvió mucho más rápido, porque en el fondo preparaba el camino con la parte de esgrima, haciendo una finta o lanzando alguna cosa que el oponente bloqueara, y luego entraba por el lado con el boxeo y por fuera, porque con el Jeet Kune Do muchas veces se encontraba por el lado interno del brazo, entonces quedabas un poco atrapado, y en cambio con el otro concepto es mucho más fácil entrar por fuera y quedar más seguro para golpear, pero que según él, por lo menos, no hay Wing Chun en el Jeet Kune Do. Bruce Lee lo sacó a medida que fue avanzando, porque lo hacía más lento.
Claro, de hecho ya da mucho sentido lo que él dice con lo que él publica. Por ejemplo, él tiene un logo en su escuela que se llama el Intercept Speech, el camino en este caso, del intercepción del puño, que se llama la organización en este caso en el Kune Do, la interceptación del oponente es con el puño en el ataque, no bloqueando, como él también lo estaba explicando. En su logo dice el círculo nunca termina. Pregúntale qué significa eso para las personas que no conocen el significado.
¿Lo de que nunca termina?
Claro,
¿O
sí,
le pregunto
sí.
por la parte del puño?
No, la del puño sabemos, pero pregúntale, en su logo dice el círculo nunca termina. Que nos explique qué significa para las personas que no saben lo que significa.
Yeah. So he's asking that he saw in your logo, it says it's never ending. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's never ended. It's never confined. It's never concluded. It's always moving.
Okay. Dice que nunca termina, que no se puede acabar, y que siempre se está moviendo.
Eso,
Se refiere a eso, ¿no?
ese como el concepto que da de la mano a que no hay límite, ¿cierto?
Is that concept goes with no limits? It's kind of the same, or not necessarily?
The only limitations is yourself.
Sí. No hay limitaciones para ti mismo. In terms of the movement, what you just showed, so your before you go in, you already kind of put the opponent on the place where you want him to be, right? You take the center line by feinting or by giving him something, but then you go by the side. So you don't need that intermediate part of trapping or something else, because you already put him where you want it before going in, right? Is that right? I'm right about that?
Sometimes you just move in, you hit him with eye jab and it finishes. Sometimes you move in and he's not been hit, then you move to the side to be safe. So you use a boxing theory of moving to the outside of the arm to be safe, so that it's difficult for him to punch you with this hand here because you're on that side.
Yeah, but is there some kind of anticipation of the movement when you put him where you want him, like due to the feints, or maybe when you throw a punch, you put him where you want it before going in?
You control the situation.
Yeah, so that makes the whole intermediate part unuseful. That's why he took it away, right? Because once you put him where you want it, it's no need to go paksao, lapsao.
No, I don't need it.
Yeah,
you don't have to contain the hand, because you're not in front of him. You're to the side.
Yeah,
and you're punching him where he can't block, so there's no need to trap him.
Yeah,
but you have trapped him in a sense where he's trapped and he'll have to turn. It's difficult for him. So he's trapped, but he's not trapped in a classical way. He's trapped in a non-classical way.
Yeah, I think even what I can see, maybe I'm wrong, but you as you said, you kind of trap his whole structure by positioning, not by using the arm.
Body. So you don't have to do it classically. You do it non-classically. You do it the same way a boxer does it. A boxer trapped in a position where you can't use this hand. You can only use that. But to use it, you have to turn. So he's trapped you.
Yeah.
A non-classical way and a non-contact way of trapping someone.
Yeah, very, very interesting concept. Please let me translate.
Okay.
Le pregunté si por lo general él dejaba bloqueada la línea central o el camino lo predisponía con sus fintas y luego entraba. De esa manera se ahorraba la parte intermedia. Y me dice que sí, que tú ya sea lo golpeas y eso ya lo hizo, o si no, a la vez que hiciste la finta de la línea central, pero después fuiste por el lado. Entonces, te aseguraste ambos caminos, porque la línea central se ocupó con la finta y luego, una vez que estás por el lado, él ya no te puede golpear. Por lo tanto, no hay nada que atrapar. No hay nada que bloquear y no hay nada que atrapar, porque tú ya te posicionaste en un sector donde la otra persona, si quiere golpearte, se tiene que dar vuelta. Y eso ya le va a tomar tiempo, tú ya estás golpeando. Por lo tanto, si se pudiera considerar trapping, tiene que ver con la posición en donde te pones, más que en el uso de los brazos, que me pareció muy, muy interesante.
Sí, muy interesante. Aparte que él lo explica de una forma, aparte de que él se mueve con una simplicidad, también lo explica de forma muy simple. Sí. Eso se agradece. Mi pregunta, quería hacerla a Sifu Tommy, es con respecto a que él cree que entonces el Wing Chun tenía muchas, o sea, estaba muy ligado a seguir una línea, en este caso la línea central, con muchas normas, y él se liberó y solamente lo utiliza como esa línea central para el objetivo sin chocar y sin tener ninguna barrera en este caso, porque el Wing Chun, en este caso, como que limpia el camino, pero va teniendo contacto tras contacto. Él trató de limpiar eso, en este caso.
Okay, so what he is asking is kind of what you showed. So you think Wing Chun was putting too much work on cleaning? You go cleaning an arm, you clean the other one when it's not really needed. So that's what you think is out of the system, right? Because it puts too many steps that you don't really need if you put yourself in the right place.
Plus, the thing is, too many things can go wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. Dice que sí, y que mientras más cosas hagan, más cosas pueden salir mal. Que es un punto muy sabio. Mientras más pasos le ponga, más cosas pueden salir mal.
Sí. O sea, la simplicidad en todo su grado. Está muy bien.
Sí. So, yeah, I'm very impressed by the way you move. I really like it. I think your structure moves and you position yourself very nicely. I really appreciate that. You show that. So is there something you would like to say about Jeet Kune Do that maybe we don't have asked? Like, is there something you want to say about it, or something you want to tell us that we don't have asked?
The highest level of Jeet Kune Do is beyond technique, and the highest end of Jeet Kune Do, or the highest levels of Jeet Kune Do, really, offense and defense look the same.
Yeah, that's like fencing.
Yeah, so the highest end, if someone was watching you, they couldn't tell the difference between if that was an attack or a counter attack, because it's very difficult to determine if it was an attack or a counter attack. So the highest end of Jeet Kune Do is extremely simple, and it is, how could you say, very, very economical, and it's straight to the point. And nobody has got to that level as of yet.
Yeah. So do you think nobody has gotten to Bruce Lee level?
No, nobody's got to the level of offense and defense are the same. Nobody's got to the level of absolute simplicity. Nobody's got to that level, because they're still going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To get to the higher level, you have to throw that away and just think about that, or that. The simplicity is the highest level. There is no progressive indirect attack. There is no fake. It's just that, finished. That's the highest level. Yeah. There is no fake. There is no broken rhythm. It's like finished. When you can move from here to here and hit him, and he never does, because this is what you usually see. You hit the person and they're moving. Do you understand? The highest
I really.
That you move not fast, but very sudden. That he doesn't even see it. He doesn't even move. The only thing he does is he feels the impact. Like that. Yeah.
So just Jeet Kune Do becomes just an action, not
an action.
An
action of the hand and an action of the leg. One movement, finished.
Yeah, that's very deep.
Nobody's got to that level, because when I said it's beyond technique, to get to that level, you have to train your eyes, you have to train your senses, and you have to train your body.
Le pregunté si había algo más que él quisiera agregar, porque dentro del más o menos lo que le habíamos preguntado ya habíamos cubierto las cosas, y dice que el máximo, la máxima expresión del Jeet Kune Do es solo la acción, no es el ritmo quebrado, no es la finta, es la acción misma. Y dice que nadie ha llegado a ese nivel todavía. Dice que es como, no hay diferencia entre defender y atacar, es solo una acción, es solo un momento, como él lo muestra, un momento y listo. No hay, en el máxima expresión del Jeet Kune Do es solo la acción del momento, no es defensa, no es ataque, no es finta, no es ritmo quebrado, es solo la acción del momento. Y que ese es el máximo expresión del Jeet Kune Do, pero que nadie ha llegado a eso aún.
Claro, eso es lo que decía como Bruce Lee, que era como instinto natural controlado, Juan, pregúntale, por favor.
Más que eso, pues, no es nada, es solo lo que él repitió varias veces, es solo la acción, solo ¡pam! Y ya está hecho.
Ya, y yo, mira, y con mi pregunta, y lo que me respondiste tú que dijo el Sifu, me estás diciendo que incluso la simplicidad de lo que él enseña, no tan solo es en la parte del movimiento, sino que, o sea, se explica solamente por el movimiento, no hay que darle tanta vuelta.
Claro. ¿Quiere que le pregunte eso?
No, pregúntale mejor, porque ya nos queda mucho tiempo. Mira, por ejemplo, el Jeet Kune es muy hábil, es muy rápido, es muy, en este caso, como él dice, es un movimiento. Pregúntale si en la parte interna, porque se ve externo el Jeet Kune Do, es mucho movimiento, pero internamente, ¿él qué trabaja? O si el Jeet Kune Do que él hace internamente le hace trabajar para él.
Okay, he wants to ask, does Jeet Kune Do have an internal part? Do you work some internal part? Because when we see you moving, it's like very fast, very explosive, and many times people consider Jeet Kune Do very physical. Does it have a internal part? Internal part is not meaning only magical powers or anything, just maybe internal structure or could be also internal energy. But does it have an internal part?
Jeet Kune Do has an internal part, but the internal part that Jeet Kune Do has is the thing that everybody's born with, and that's senses. So you can walk into a room and you can feel that there's something about the atmosphere in the room where it doesn't feel right. Sometimes you meet people and you just don't have a good vibe, a good feeling from them. Something inside you tells you that. That's what Jeet Kune Do uses. That's the internal part, to use your senses and let your senses reach out. So you train your senses to reach out to pick up vibrations from the opponent. And you can tell if he's friendly, hostile, or starting to be very, very aggressive. You can pick the vibrations up. So it's about just tapping into your own natural senses and enhancing them.
Dice que sí, que la parte interna del Jeet Kune Do tiene que ver con los sentidos personales. Da el ejemplo, por ejemplo, cuando uno entra a una pieza y siente que hay algo raro, o cuando conoces a alguien y te da como una vibra extraña o una vibra positiva. Dice que ese tipo de sentidos son los que tú desarrollas en el Jeet Kune Do para saber si, por ejemplo, la otra persona es amable o te quiere atacar, o si es muy agresivo. Entonces, dice que la parte interna del Jeet Kune Do es algo que todos los seres humanos tenemos y que eso es lo que se trabaja, esa sensación que te permite un poco anticipar el entorno o tu, entre comillas, tu onda con la persona que estás interactuando.
Interesante. Juan, bueno, nos queda poco tiempo. De primera instancia, agradecer, pero también decir a la gente que Sifu Tommy tiene muy buen gusto musical. Y si nos puede compartir un poco para que la gente vea.
We have very few time, and beside giving you he's very thankful. He also was saying if you can show what kind of music you like, that he likes your music. So
music.
if you wanna show the music you're listening to the people.
Okay, wait to see.
Bueno, a los amigos que están, decirle que comenzamos la entrevista antes de empezar a grabar. Sifu tenía una música muy, muy buena, tiene muy buen gusto musical. ¿Cierto, Juan?
Bueno,
see that the thing is that music is very, very important to Jeet Kune Do.
La música, claro.
Dice que la música es muy importante para el Jeet Kune Do. In what sense would you say that?
Because music gives you rhythm.
Yeah.
So it does.
Dice que la música es muy importante para el Jeet Kune Do porque la música te da ritmo.
De hecho, Bruce Lee, dile que Bruce Lee era campeón de cha-cha-cha y también le ayudaba a Jeet Kune Do.
Sí. Well, he's saying that Bruce Lee was a champion on dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that song?
A ver, la canción.
Yo no la escucho. Ahí sí.
Ese. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Good.
Yeah, I know it.
Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Jeet.
Nice.
Yeah, I know that song.
Muchas gracias. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
time. Dile que su trabajo como difusor de la disciplina, en este caso Jeet Kune Do, es muy importante porque incluso ha llegado a países tan lejanos como Chile, y que le agradezco la entrevista a Juan.
He wants to thank you. He also thinks that your work on Jeet Kune Do is so good that it has even get to places like Chile that is very, very far away from you, but
Yes.
we know you, and he is very appreciative of what you have done.
My pleasure.
And also for me, it was a great interview. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you show us, your sharing, your knowledge. It was great. It was very, very interesting. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Dile, Juan, que también, antes de terminar, que le agradezco la sinceridad, le agradezco el tiempo y que también vamos a estar en contacto a ver si hacemos una otra entrevista.
He also wants to add that he really appreciates your being so honest, so direct about it, and maybe in a future we can do another interview. We really appreciate your time.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Deje sus contactos, como tú dices siempre, Juan.
Okay. See, if you want to leave some contact for where people can find you, a web page or Facebook page or whatever, you want to leave some contact where people can contact you, or you don't want to do.
People can contact me at my webpage, www.tommycarruthers.com. They can do that, or they can contact me on Facebook.
Ok. Dice que lo pueden buscar en www.tommycarruthers.com o lo buscan en Facebook. Y lo que digo siempre, si la Chile, Instagram, Facebook y YouTube.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gracias a la gente que ve el programa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.